Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? You guys, first story up. This story actually was, as soon as I got up this morning and turned on my TV, I saw this story, which was that United had grounded all of their flights, every single one, every last one of their flights last night, because they said they were having technical difficulties. At some point last night, United Airlines decided to nationwide ground all their planes. They said that they were not able to get a hold of they weren't able to get into the weight, I guess the baggage restriction weight area. Like they said, I don't know, you have to have the system, and all of that has to be perfect on the plane in order for the plane to be able to stay up in the air and everything. So if they don't have the balance and the weight together, they cannot fly that plane. Okay, we know from experience with Aaliyah. This is the issue that Aaliyah had. They said when her plane left, it was too heavy, had too much luggage on there, and it wasn't equally distributed. So I think they said at some point the luggage shifted. So, the weight of all of this luggage moving to one part of the plane can make the plane dip and go down. So that is a problem that nobody wants, and they don't definitely want the thousands of flights up in the air, when they can't monitor that kind of thing. So yeah, everything was grounded. They finally did bring everything back up live, I guess about 6 o'clock this morning, but of course by then the damage is already done. Okay, I know just here in Atlanta they said that there were there were over 200 cancellations just here in Atlanta. Okay, so imagine all the airports all over this country, nationwide, and then even the flights that are getting affected that are coming back in or going out. It's an issue. So yes, United Airlines needs to fix everything. They're saying that this is not a result of a cyber attack. This stuff is happening so much at these airlines. I'm starting to wonder if they're just not telling us the truth, child. Because why is it every time we turn around, something else going on with the computers? I mean, I know that because we're in the era of computers and we rely on these computers, that we can't think that they're going to be perfect and keep things going smoothly 100% of the time. But, this is starting to happen more and more. And I saw on the news, they had the airport in Denver, honey, they had set up cots. They had cots set up with a little blanket and a pillow, like lined up for all of the people that were going to be there, because they just said that it was in the airport was a mess. And then of course, because United Airlines is having all their issues and all their planes are grounded, that means that the runways and the field, the airfield that everybody is out there, all the planes are just on the ground. So nobody, it affects other airlines because they cannot maneuver around all these United Airline planes. Okay, big old wingspan. Yeah, they're so it's an issue. But yeah, United is happy they were able to get everything back up. I hope everything is clear for everybody. I know it's a weekend, so people are going to start getting up and moving around. I have gotten to the point where I just feel like they don't tell us about what's going on, because it just seems like this is such a it's just been more and more common, these issues with the planes. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? You guys give me your opinion on that, and we're going to move on to the next story. Okay, you guys, WhatsApp. We're not doing politics. I always got to do the announcement about the politics, but y'all already got it, so I ain't gonna do it again. But anyway, WhatsApp, the tariffs went into effect today. Okay, and so we are really now about to see what these prices are about to do. Okay, I was so disheartened to see Tim Cook in the White House yesterday, but I was like, I'm seeing that these businesses are really having no choice. Like they in order for them to be able to continue with their business as usual, they have to play nice with their government, or they are not going to be able to have their business. I mean, I think we are all seeing that now. It's a shame that WhatsApp is able to get away with that kind of thing, but that's what the issue, that's what has been happening. So Apple has agreed with YSAP and said that they will start making some parts here in the United States, because that's what these tariffs are about. He's creating these tariffs because he is trying to force the different companies, the American companies, to start creating these things back in America, okay, instead of contracting it out to different countries. But we all know that America is very expensive. So that is the reason why it became such a thing for us to get so many things from China, you know, because it was less. Now that YSAP is forcing these companies to come back to the country, I mean, I don't think that that's a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing that these companies are coming back to the country, but the problem is now some of the things, in order to be able to compete at certain levels with all these other different brands, there are things that you can't get here in the United States that you can only get in, you know, out the country. So, you know, a lot of people are facing that issue as well. So part of Apple's things, I think they said that they won't get their cards, their SIM cards or whatever, that won't be, well, Apple doesn't have a SIM card, but whatever it is that Apple has, their main thing that has to do with their operating system, their OS, that you can't get made here in the United States. Okay, so there's like, we don't have a choice. That has to be done somewhere else. But other parts of the phone, I guess like the glass, what they're going to be putting on these new phones and all that, that is going to be made here. And did you guys see, I posted on Instagram that they are also coming out, supposedly, Shade Room said that they're supposed to be coming out with a foldable flip phone next year. Okay, and it's supposed to be like $2,000 and all this. The problem with these tariffs and the problem with Apple now being here in the United States, making some of those parts in the United States is going to it's going to blow up the number, the amount, the price. Okay, they said that flip phone is going to be $2,000, which is kind of like, you know, the phones is ranging right around $1,500 and all, but again, these tariffs might make those prices continue to go up more and more and more. So we're just gonna see what happens. But seeing Tim Cook in the White House, and I was just like, but you know, I am an Apple girl, I won't lie. But I have gotten to a point where I'm tired of the iPhone. It's just a phone at this point, child. They all do the same thing. I just want a phone that I can navigate easily, you know, that it don't get stuck, it's not searching, and it's not doing all of these things. I just need a phone that works, okay, at this point. This phone is a 13. There was a point where I would never have an old phone. Like if the phone was whatever the new phone was, that's the phone I had. And now grown up Roxanne realizes we don't need no damn phone every fucking year, okay? Even every 2 years. So this is a 13 I have. And I'm going to I'm probably going to get this phone that comes out in a couple of weeks, because this phone has had it, child. It's giving me so many issues. So anyway, how'd I got on? I done completely got off phones. Off politics and on phones. But let's get back to politics. So YSAP is the tariffs. The tariffs is happening. And again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Now, India continues to buy Russian oil. And YSAP doesn't like that, okay? He told them to stop. They said they ain't stopping. So he already had them at a 25% tariff. We're going to jack it on up to 50% tariff. And you know what? India said they don't give a damn. They're going to still buy the damn oil from Russia, okay? So that's something else. Ooh, is it? Hold on. Oh, I have it on cinematic. Is it blurry? I keep on thinking that it's blurry, but then I'm looking at my face. It don't really. Oh, I wanted to clean y'all almost saw my panties, child. I was about to clean off the thing. And I was about to lift it up. I can tell you this. I am amazed that YSAP is able to have his hand in every single thing. Like, how is it that every single thing that you turn around, you want to affect some kind of way? Things that the government is involving themselves in, they never did before. I don't want to see Apple at the White House. Like, I don't want those things to mix, you know? Like, the politics is so all-consuming right now. It's in every single thing. You cannot talk about anything right now without it somehow getting looped back around to politics. I'm over it, Jeff. Over it. Okay, let's move on to the next. But yeah, the tariffs is going on. So you guys, have you noticed any higher prices, like exorbitantly high? Of course, we've all noticed that everything is higher because of inflation. But have you noticed that something has completely increased way more than you know, what it was. Y'all let me know about that. Let's move on to the next. All right, you guys. So last night, as I was watching World News Tonight, that's my favorite news show, you guys. There was a woman that they were arresting, and they were showing the video footage. A Miss Autumn, but what is her name? Autumn Bardiza. Autumn Bardiza was in nursing school, and she had some friends around her, and you know, the friends graduated, they got their nursing license and all, you know, her friends, and you know, she's close with her friends, and talks to her friends, you know, and if her friends need something, say, hey, could you go to my desk and get that tablet out for me and bring it to me? Okay. And maybe Autumn went on to the desk, and while she was at the desk, she looked down and she saw the tablet, but she also saw to the left the license, the nursing license that one of her friends was able to get when she graduated. Did I leave out that Autumn did not graduate? Oh, I might have left that part out, but okay. Autumn didn't graduate. Her friends did. Autumn got her friends, well, I don't know if it was her friend. As a matter of fact, it probably was not her friend, okay? But Autumn was able to get a hold of another Autumn who does have a license, a nursing license. Maybe it was her friend. Yeah, maybe she had a friend. The two Autumns. Hey, Autumn, girl, where's Autumn? There she is. But at any rate, Autumn got a hold of another Autumn, not Autumn Bardiza, but another Autumn with a different last name's license for her nursing license, and was using that and was working as a nurse. They said that she was responsible for like intaking clients. You know how they do, like they do your vitals. They said that she was also the one that would take start IVs and those kind of things. Okay, so that was her job. They said that she had seen over 4,400 people in the time span that she was working, June 2024 to January of 2025. She was working under a license that was not hers. She was not a nurse. She wasn't a licensed nurse. But Autumn was good at her job, apparently, because Autumn went up for a promotion. And so when her promotion came, they realized that her license had a different last name. So they were like, what gives? And she said, oh, she recently got married. Okay, so of course her license would have something different. They said, oh, okay, well, we need you to provide the marriage certificate. And she couldn't provide it, so they fired her. And then after they fired her, they started an investigation, because this ain't somebody that's just been ringing up clothes on a you know, on a cash register at a store. This is a person that had people's lives in her hands, potentially. You know, she could have done something. So now they got to go back and look at all of the cases, things that have happened in the hospital that might have been strange. They couldn't understand. They couldn't explain that she might have been around at that time. Like, you know, they got to do all this investigating and try to figure out if she caused the hospital any kind of issue. So far, they're saying that they don't think that she did. Okay, again, she was up for a promotion, which means that she knew what she was doing. She doesn't have her license. So when she got fired and they did the investigation, she was still in school. So she actually ended up getting her license. And so she had got a new job, and she was working as a home health nurse. Okay. She got home from work, and that's where the police was there waiting for her, and they arrested her there. You know, she was like, am I being arrested? And they were like, yes, you are. Okay, because you are not Autumn, whoever that other person is. You Autumn Bardiza. Okay, and that's not the same person. So, yeah, you guys, so now the lady then got arrested, even though she did get her license, and she now is an official nurse. But for those 6 months that she was working in that capacity, or 7 months in that capacity, she was not a real nurse. So she got arrested. She's probably, I don't see her, she's probably not going to do any, well, it's going to depend. Oh, real rock star lawyers, child. I was trying to not involve y'all. So what happens now? Like, do you think she's going to do any time? I think the fact that she was up for a promotion, obviously knew how to do her job, you know, hadn't killed nobody, nothing bad has come out of her being there. First of all, that's a blessing. That's great. But secondly, maybe that might keep the judge from, you know, because she still stayed in school and got her license, maybe the judge might give her some, you know, be like, you was tripping and you knew you was. and maybe they can give her some community service and some shit and be like, don't do that shit again, and go on about your business. I kind of feel like maybe that's might be what happens. But my real rock star lawyers, the real rock star lawyers, y'all let us know if you know, if she's still, if you think she's gonna do time. The whole story kind of just, don't you guys feel like maybe they need to give old girl a little bit of a, but no, we cannot do that. We cannot do that because, you know, as medical profession, that is nothing to play with. Okay, we need to make sure that the person that's working on us has all of the credentials. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, Autumn, #1. I don't know if that's Autumn 1 or 2, but sorry, girl. We'll see what happens with that. But I have a feeling that she ain't gonna do jail. Y'all let me know what you think about that. And let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys, next story. So I didn't want to put this first because I have been noticing that YouTube has really been a stickler with flagging shit. So I didn't want to put this story first, but I still wanted to talk about the shooting that happened at Fort Meyers base here in Georgia yesterday. There was a gentleman, did I put his name down? Yes, Cornelius Bradford. He, 28 years old. He was at work. He worked on the base. I cannot remember what they said he did. Oh, he worked in the automated logistics team. I did put that down. So he worked in the he worked with the automated logistics team. And it was him and 5 other people apparently. And he went into the office and he just opened fired and shot 5 of his co-workers. Shot them. Nobody died, but yes, they were able to apprehend him, obviously, and they arrested him. We saw when they took him to jail, he was shackled, you know, arms and feet. A young black guy. We still don't know why he did that, at least, you know, when I was doing my notes. They hadn't said what was the reason for it. They were still trying to figure it out. But, yeah, 3 of the 5, there were 3 men who were shot that will require surgery. I'm assuming they probably had that surgery today. But they expect all 5 to recover with no, you know, no other health issues. But they said that the guy didn't have any issues on record. So they don't really know why he did that. You know, he didn't have any mental issues or problems with any of his co-workers or anything like that. He's definitely gonna have problems. Good thing he didn't kill nobody, because if he would have killed somebody on that base, he could forget it. Okay, he's still in a lot of trouble because you ain't shooting on no base. You know, that is a big, that's a big story. The military, well, the military has changed so much now, child. But you know, the military that we knew from yesteryear, they didn't like you. They don't like the public being all involved in their shit and knowing what's going on there. You know, so I'm already knowing that they probably real mad that the story is out there like that, and everybody knows that this happened at that base and all that. You know, and them boys is probably going to. I mean, that boy is probably gonna be in quite a bit of trouble. You know, but thank God nobody was killed. So. Yeah, it's strange because when we were at the Army base, you know, when I did that RV video, they were on high alert then. They put them on high alert yesterday after the shooting happened. They said they were on it for some hours and then they let them off, you know, once they had the whole situation under control and knew what was going on. But they did mention in his civilian life, not while he's at the base, but they said a couple of months ago, I think they said he was arrested with a DUI. So I'm getting hot. I got this fan on. Why am I letting myself sweat? So maybe he's having some personal issues right now. Things ain't working out. You know, he's drinking, he's driving, now he's shooting people. It's a lot going on with Mr. Bradford. Okay, so they're going to have to sit him down and figure it out. But again, thank God nobody was killed there, because he would have been in a lot of trouble. I mean, he in a lot of trouble now, but he would have been in a whole lot more trouble. All right, you guys. Next story. Okay, you guys. So, Sha'carri Richardson and her boyfriend, Mr. Christian Coleman. You guys know that they are both Olympic runners, sprinters. Sha'carri and and Mr. Coleman both did their thing in the last Olympics. You know, we were very proud to see them out there doing what they do. Okay. I thought that Shacarri was gay, but maybe she's bisexual. So I knew she had a girlfriend at one point. She has a boyfriend now. Well, he's an ex, I imagine, because they said that they were at the airport in SeaTac, you know, Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and they were about to get on the plane. They said that they were observed arguing, verbally arguing as they went through TSA. Okay, so everybody can already tell that the shit was, they were having problems. By the time they had got through the TSA, and I guess was walking towards the gate or whatever, they were still arguing, and she was pushing him. So he was trying to walk away from her, and she kept pushing him, and apparently he must have tripped on one of those pushes. She pushed him hard enough that he fell into the column. And I guess the people saw that, and so the police was called, and when they observed the video, they saw what she did, and they arrested her. He refused to press charges. He said that he is not a victim, he is fine, and so he's not pressing charges. So Shacarri was let go when the case was dropped. I mean, it was never a case, you know. The whole issue was let go. And of course, people are upset now and saying that Shacarri should be in trouble for that. You know, if it would have been the other way around and he was pushing her through the airport, then it would have been all kind of problems and trouble for him. And I mean, I guess I could agree, you know. Maybe we shouldn't put our hands on anybody. How about that? Men shouldn't hit women, and women really shouldn't hit men either. Okay, my mom, I done already told y'all, honey. My mom was like, don't do that, Roxanne. Do not do that, okay? And I have taken that to heart. But she pushed him, and, you know, he never swung back on her and everything. You know, I had posted on Shade Room, because it was the truth that in my experience, every girl that I knew that could run fast, they usually could fight too. I don't know. It just goes hand in hand with coordination and shit. But I wasn't laughing about it. I did put the LOL because people, actually that comment got a lot of attention. And some people thought I was laughing at the fact that she, you know, had pushed him hard enough that he fell into the column. I wasn't laughing about that. I was just strictly laughing about the fact that it was ironic that people that usually can run fast can fight. Okay? I mean, that's just something that you just normally, it just seemed like that was just something that went hand in hand together. But I wasn't laughing at the situation. You know, she shouldn't be hitting on no man. I mean, nobody should be hitting on nobody. But no woman should be hitting on no man, because sometimes it's even a reflex to just swing back, you know, and next thing you know, now he a woman abuser, you know? So yeah, don't hit nobody. Either way, okay? I don't want Shacarri to be in trouble, but I need Shacarri to be understanding of the fact that, you're going to have to control these anger issues, control these issues. I mean, she's come a long way. So we're not going to be too hard on Shacarri. She's come a long way, and she's young. She's still trying to figure it out, but she's not super young. So now it's time to start growing up and realizing that it's consequences to things that we do. You know, we can't keep blaming it on being young. So as we get older, now you a grown adult and you know fucking better. So don't do that shit, because you have so much to lose. And you worked really hard to get back to where you wanted to be. So don't lose it. But you can. And that's another thing. Young people don't think that they can lose stuff. But you start living to be living long enough, you realize I have seen people lose things. You know, so it's not fun. So she needs to remember that. All right, but that's just Auntie Rocky, just trying to give you guys a little advice. Shit happens, tough, it be tough, people make you mad and everything, but channel that anger somewhere else so you don't end up in jail, okay? All right. All right, you guys, that's it. My coworker just got home from work. You guys, I'm still on vacation. I don't go back to work until Monday. So I have been running all day Thursday. I actually have been on Instagram all day today, posting on my stories. So maybe they're still there. Y'all go on over there and check them out and see what I was talking about. But yeah, it's been a busy day, but I was like, it was the evening, and I was like, I still ain't did top of the blogs. I got to get that shit done. So this is me getting it done. It is currently 5 5:24 in the evening. Okay, I'm gonna get on off of here. We did this every single week. Make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.